After the lecture, I will again give you an indication and an idea as to how we would like you to conduct the question time. I give to you now Brother Ahmad Deedat.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وما أرسلناك إلا كافة للناس بشيرا ونذيرا ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون صدق الله العظيم. Mr. Chairman, brothers and sisters, I have read to you a verse from Surah Safa, verse number 28. And as I had explained to you previously, how to find this chapter and this verse from the Holy Quran that is available to you from here, as our chairman had announced again and again, 7 rands 50 each or 2 for 10 rands. It's a bargain of a lifetime, I assure you. 2,000 pages for 5 rands each if you buy 2. But now, at the end of this volume is a very comprehensive index. And if you open that index under S, you'll find Safa. It will be in italics. Every surah, name of the surah, under whatever the name, under that letter, alphabet, you'll find it in italics is the name of the surah. And it'll tell you is Surah Saba is 34. So you look for chapter 34, surah is chapter, and look for verse 28, and you'll find this verse I have just read to you. The meaning of that is, Allah says, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا كَافَةً لِلنَّاسِ. Said, we have not sent you, O Muhammad, except for the whole of mankind. كَافَةً لِلنَّاسِ. Bashirun, as a giver of glad tidings, wa nazirun, and as a warner. وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. But the bulk of mankind, they still do not know. That is the meaning of the verse I have read to you. With regards to the subject, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the greatest, you see, it is very easy for one to elevate, to praise his hero, his saint, his imam, his prophet. Very easy. To idolize our great men. Very easy. And we all have a tendency to do that, whether Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Jew. That whom do you esteem to be the greatest person? So each will give his hero according to his knowledge and experience. I had an occasion to take a Portuguese couple around the mosque in Durban. I happened to be one of the guides to the Juma Masjid Durban, and it attracts a lot of visitors. So we take them around, explain to them what goes on, and we give them free literature. But talking to this Portuguese couple, the Portuguese gentleman, somehow the subject arose, and he was telling me that the greatest man that ever lived was Dr. Salazar. Have you heard of him? Dr. Salazar. Bulk of the people, they never heard the name, Dr. Salazar. But you can't take exception to his claim because he only knows Dr. Salazar. Can you see? To him, Portuguese gentleman, he must have done great work for his nation. He is the greatest man that ever lived, Dr. Salazar. So it's quite easy for one to idolize one's own hero. But if the tribute, the praise, the testimony comes from the opposite camp, that would be testimony indeed. We praise our Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Christian praises Jesus Christ, the Hindu praises Rama and Krishna. It's natural. But if the enemy praises your hero, then that is real praise indeed. You agree? coming from the enemy. And in that regard, a book has just been published in America. The title of that book is The 100. See this book? Quite an expensive book. The 100. Alternatively described as the top 100 or the greatest 100 in history. The author is a certain Michael H. Hart, described as an astronomer and a mathematician. This American, he goes out of his way to search in history for the 100 most influential men from Adam alayhi salam, from Adam up to current times. And he gives us a list of those 100 most influential men according to his reasoning. He gives reasons behind every person that he chooses. Why he chose this number 1 and why he chose that number 30 and why he chose that number 100. He gives you reasons. And the amazing thing about his list is this, that number 1 on his list, you can guess, is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Number 1, Muhammad. An American in America writing a book which retails in America for $12.50, 572 pages. Who will buy his book? The 200 million nominal Christians of America or the 6 million Jews, not Pakistanis, Bangladeshis or Arabs. Oh, they'll buy one here, one there, but the bulk of his customers will be the Americans. The market is the American market, Christians and Jews. And he's telling them that Muhammad, the member of their opposition, is the first man, the greatest man, most influential man in history. And the shocking thing about his list is this, that his own Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is number 3. His own Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is number 3, not even number 2. And he gives his reasons for that also. He said, you see, the honor for Christianity, or whatever it is to be divided between Paul and Christ. And he said that the real founder of Christianity is not Jesus Christ, is Saint Paul. He wrote more books. The New Testament consists of 27 books. 27 different books, out of which more than half, 14 are written by this one man, Paul, Saint Paul, the self-appointed apostle of Jesus. Self-appointed. He didn't go and choose him. He chose 12. But the self-appointed apostle, as he claims, Paul, he wrote 14 out of 27 books, more than half. And everything that the Christian is preaching today is not the preachings of Jesus, are not the teachings of Jesus, are the teachings of Paul. See, whenever we have an argument with the Christian, we are asking him, do you keep the laws and the commandments? Because Jesus said so. One jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Do you keep the laws and the commandments? He said, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, or shall teach men so, shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Do you keep the laws and the commandments? He says, no. So why don't you? So he says, no, the law is nailed to the cross. He said, we are now living under grace. I said, where did you get that? So he says, Corinthians, Philippians, Galatians. So what's all that? Who's that? He says, this is Paul. Paul. So what did your master say? No, they don't talk about the master, Jesus. They don't talk about him. Paul. If they contradict you in anything, it's Paul. The real founder of Christianity is Saint Paul. So this man, Michael H. Hart, he gives the, had it not been, he would have come number 2, Jesus Christ. But since the honor is divided, he goes to number 3. So I'm asking, please account for it. Why should an American in America publish a book? He wants to do business. And he's provoking his customers. You see, in business we say that the customer is always right. You must appease your customers. If you want to do business, you must please your customers. You don't argue and debate with your customers, otherwise they won't come back. But this man is telling his customers that they are all wrong. And he is right. Muhammad number 1, Jesus Christ number 3. Now, if a Christian confirms what Allah Bari Ta'ala has already told us in the Holy Quran, He says, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَىٰ خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. So most certainly thou, O Muhammad, standest on the highest pinnacle of behavior. It makes us happy that a Christian in America, he goes to confirm what the Quran stated 1400 years ago.